Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to the video. Okay, so the question which we will be solving today is web index of a valid split. Okay, so as you can see, the question number is 2780 and it is marked as a medium one, right? And the question is like it's today's LeetCode POTD. Okay, so now let's just read the description and try to solve this problem. Okay, so an element x of an integer array ARR of length m is dominant if more than half the elements of ARR have a value of x. Okay, you are given a zero index integer array nums of length n with one dominant element. You can split nums at index I into two arrays where nums like the one part is from 0 to I and another part is from I plus 1 to n minus 1. But the split is only valid if I is greater than equal to 0 and it is less than equal to and it is less than n minus 1. The second condition is this is the first condition, this will be the second condition, right? Okay. The second condition is that nums from like 0 to I and the I plus 1 to n minus 1 have the same dominant element. Okay. Here nums from I to j denote the subarray of nums starting at index I and index j. Both ends being inclusive, particularly j is less than I, then nums of denotes n. Okay. Okay, so it's like if j is less than I, it means that an array is an empty subarray, right? Return the minimum index of a valid split. If no split exists, return -1. Okay, so what we have been given here is that we have an array. We have been given an array, right? So just right. We have been given an array, right? And like we need to return the dominant, like the index at which the value is dominant, right? So what does this mean? This means that suppose this is an array ARR, okay, and suppose here the value is I and I plus 1 to n minus 1, and is like suppose at this we have an element which is dominant. So dominant means that like it is dominant in this and this part both. Okay, like this part and part 1, and let me just use a different color for it, and this will be part 2. So it should be dominant in both the parts, and being dominant in both the part means that uh, like uh, like I'll say like L into like the occurrence of, let me just write it, occurrence of L into 2 must be greater than I plus 1, and occurrence of occurrence of L into 2 must be greater than n minus n like n minus 1 minus the I. Okay. So if this condition fulfills, then it means that it is dominant. Okay, so let me just show you in the like the dry run, then the things will be much more clearer. Okay, so like let's just take this case. Okay, here like 0 1 2 3 4, this one is dominant because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 minus 4, it will give you 5. It will give you 5. Okay. So okay, the here it won't be minus 1. Oh, okay. So it can be 9. Okay. So minus and put the correct, like the correct formula. Okay. So let's just see how we can solve it. Okay. So let me just write this, then we are going to solve it. So we have 2, 1, 1, 3, 1. So where should be I writing it? 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, triple 1. So we have 2, 1, 3. Then we have triple 1, 7. Then we have triple 1, 7, 1, 2, 1. Right? So this is our array given. Right? And the indexing are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now we need to find the dominant value. Okay, so like see what we were doing before, like in this. Okay, suppose we are standing, let's say this, this one. Suppose you are standing here. Okay, so you must be knowing that how many occurrences of 1 is like here in this part. Plus, you should also be knowing that how many occurrences of 1 is in this part. In part 1 and part 2, you must be knowing, you must know the occurrence of 1, right? Because we are checking for 1, so you must be knowing. Then only you can like find if it's dominant or not, right? Okay, so like suppose we have like calculated the total occurrences. Total occurrences of 1 is like suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Totally 1 occurred 6 times. Okay, and like suppose till now, like the current occurrence of 1 is 3, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so by this can we find out how many times like 1 occurred on the left, like from this information. Let me just write it. From this, from this can we find the left and the right occurrence and right occurrence, right? How? Like see, you know the left occurrence because we are coming from this side. Okay, you know the occurrence till now, and you also know the whole occurrence. So you can just subtract it and you will be getting what? The occurrence at the right part, right? See, so the question is like, I think the question must be very clear to you. Okay, how can we find it? And the first condition, see, there will only be a single dominant element. It's written, right? It's also in the constraint nums has one dominant element, right? So the first element we find we determine, right? Okay. So from this we can find out, and our formula will be something like this. L, like how many elements will be there? So the left will be equal to I plus 1, and our right will be equal to n minus I minus 1, or you can just write it as n minus 1 minus I. Okay, so if MP of L, okay, so if the MP of L is greater than twice of left, right? Or did I wrote it or not? Okay. I wrote it. Okay. So if it's greater than left, and let me just write it down. Okay. If total of total occurrences of L minus the current occurrence of L into like into 2 is okay, I just write it wrong. Okay. This should be very okay. Now I can into 2 must be greater than left, and this into 2 must be greater than right. Eh, okay, so if this condition is fulfilled, we can just return I, return I, right? Okay, so let me just also do a dry run for you. Okay. The dry run will be like a very easy. Okay, so let me just also do it. So yeah, let me just erase it once, and then we will be doing a proper dry run of it. Okay, I should have told you to try, but you got the intuition, right? So you don't have to worry about it. So let me just erase this part, and then we can just come back to this part and let's see. So just for suppose, just hope this comes out. So I will be like writing like both. So first, let me just write the MP total MP. Okay. So what are the elements? Dot of 1, like the total occurrences of 1 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, right? Total occurrences of 2 is like what? 1, 2, right? Total occurrences of 3 is what? 1. And the total occurrences of 3, okay, so 7 is like 1, right? Okay, so let me just move it, and you can see. So this is MP or the current. So MP of 2, should I write it MP or current? Okay. See, uh, just take it as this. So if I'm writing MP, it means that I'm writing current. Okay. Current occurrence of 2 is 1. Okay. So what will be the left occurrence? The total occurrence you can see is 2. So left means like it has occurred once, and the right, okay, and the right it has occurred once. Okay. So like it won't be our what? It won't be our dominant element, right? So the MP now move to 1, right? MP of 1 is, we come here, MP of 1 is 1, right? Okay. So is there any left occurrence? No, it's like not dominant in this. Is it dominant in right? Yes, but not dominant in left. So we move forward, right? This should be 1, and we come here. Okay. Is 3 dominant? No way, it's not. Okay. So what do we do? We just move, right? Okay. So we come here, right? In the left part, in the right part. Is it dominant? Right? If, is it dominant? the it's two, right? So in this part it has two, and in this part it has four, 2 foot, and the total length of here is 4. So is 2 into 2, is it greater than 4? So it's not a dominant element, right? So what do we do? Just move forward, right? We just move forward, and here it will be 3, right? Okay. Now tell me that, just use a different color here. Okay. Is here the occurrence of 1 is 3 in this part, and the length is 5, left is equal to 5, right? And including this part, 1 2 3, this part also has 3 elements, right? And the length is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, this has 4, right? Okay. So it has 5 elements, right? Okay. Right also has 5 elements. So is 3 into 2 is greater than 5, and is 3 into 2 is also greater than 5. So both these conditions are true, and we return I, which is this 4. So as you can see, the 4 is our answer. Okay, so that's how we are going to solve it, right? Okay. So yeah, this will work, and as you can see, let me just get you to the code, and then we can like wind up this question, right? So as you can see, I have taken two maps. One is total and one is current. Total will be having the total occurrences of an element, and the current will be having the current occurrence of an element, right? So we have find out the total occurrences, then we are just moving forward, right? Okay, so yeah, here we are iterating and checking if we are studying the L, nums of I into an L, right? And we are just increasing it current occurrence. Okay. L is I plus 1, R is n minus I minus 1. If current occurrence into 2 is greater than L, and the total minus current occurrence into 2 is greater than R, we're just simply returning I. And if the for loop doesn't return anything, it means that there is not a dominant element, and we're just returning -1 at the end, right? Okay, so as you can see, the code is in just fine, and we have solved this problem. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this question. The question and the code link will be in the description box. Okay, you might check it out. And yeah, that's all for this question. Have a nice day ahead.